On with section 8.6, and we've just got a few problems to look at. And so if you look at this, how does this look different than any of the problems you looked at yesterday?
It equals 27.
It equals something, right? And so we've got an equals to sign. And so now what we're going to have to do is solve this equation. And so what we're going to do in order to solve this equation is we're going to move everything to one side of the equation. And we always want to move it to where the x squared term is positive. So in this case, x squared is positive on the left side. So I'm going to subtract 27 from both sides. And that leaves me with x squared plus 6x minus 27. And that's going to equal 0. So now from yesterday, we're going to imagine that for right now that equals 0 is not there. Okay, I want you just to kind of block that out. And we're going to go ahead and factor the left side. So what was the very first thing you focused on when you started to factor?
Finding the common.
I focus on that last number, right? So two factors of 27 that do what? That differ by, because it's a negative. So two factors of 27 that differ by 6, what are they? 9 and 3. So then now remember I go ahead and make a positive 6 from 9 and 3. How do you do that? So positive 9, negative 3. Okay, then remember what I do now is I go ahead and start my parentheses. And so how do I get an x squared?
You start both parentheses with an x.
Both parentheses with an x. One set of parentheses will have the plus 9. The other set of parentheses will have the minus 3. And we would actually stop there on yesterday's part of the assignment, but today notice it says equals 0. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use that zero product property. And what that zero product property states is that either x plus 9 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. So I need to solve each of those basic equations. So that first equation, what do you need to do? Subtract 9. So what do you get x to equal? Negative 9. What do you do on that second one? Add 3. So what do you get x to equal? 3. So my two solutions are negative 9 and positive 3.
And that's the answer.
And that's the answer. You only have to do this if there's an equal to sign. If there's not, you just do it like what we did yesterday. So let's go ahead and look at another one. Z squared minus 3z equals 70. So what should I do first? Subtract 70 from both sides. So on the left side I now have z squared minus 3z minus 70, and that's going to equal 0. So now what do I do? Two factors of 70 that do what? Differ by 3. What are they? 10 and 7. Good. How do I get a negative 3 from 10 and 7? Negative 10, positive 7. Okay, so then now I start with my two quantities. How do you get a z squared? Z in both. One will have a negative 10, the other will have a positive 7. So now zero product property states that either z minus 10 equals 0 or what? Okay, so what do you have to do on that first one? Add 10. So what's your solution going to be? Z equals 10. Okay. What do you do on the second one?
Subtract 7.
Subtract 7. So what do you get Z to equal?
Negative 7.
negative 7. So my two solutions are 10 and negative 7. Questions?
Pretty much you just switch which one's positive and negative.
All right, I want you to try this one for me. Okay, you try this one for me and let's see how you do. Okay, you guys did a great job there. What ended up happening was you should have gotten this to factor to be x plus 6 times x minus 3. And so then when you went through and solved, you should have gotten two solutions at negative 6 and positive 3, which I saw you all had, and that was great. Okay, so now you should be able to finish this section. So remember from yesterday on page 507, I need you to do 12 through 29. Okay, so 12 through 29, this will be due Monday. We will check it on Monday.